What's up guys, Saulius, I'm back again. So today we're going to be reacting videos about was possibly chosen you can make in and Walking Dead part 3 every nuts. We're almost there, so we're going to finish the video. So yeah, we had left 6 minutes video, so let's begin. How we lost off about how Lee tried to cut off his arms, not legs, about his arms. Man.
Herself for it. She thinks that she is the reason why Lee is dying, and she feels helpless and hopeless. Cutting off Lee's arm does not change the story. It does not affect the relationships with the other characters. It does not affect the choices that Lee makes. It does not affect the ending that Lee gets. It only changes some minor details, such as the dialogue, the animations, and the scenes. The overall plot and the outcome are the same, regardless of Lee's arm. So, what's the point of cutting off Lee's arm? There is no point. It's a waste of time, energy, and resources. It's a futile and foolish attempt to fight the inevitable. It's a cruel and unnecessary sacrifice that does not pay off. It's a mistake that you will regret for the rest of your life. That's why I think that cutting off Lee's arm is the worst possible choice you can make in The Walking Dead Season 1. It's a choice that I never make, and I advise you to never make it either. Trust me, you're better off keeping Lee's arm. It may not save him, but it will save him from more pain and misery. It will save him from losing a part of himself. It will save him from losing his dignity. Next, whether to give up your weapons or not when you meet the Crawford survivors. Lee and his group are looking for a boat in Savannah, and they end up in a school that is occupied by a group of survivors who call themselves Crawford. Crawford is a ruthless community that has a strict policy of killing anyone who is weak, sick, old, or young. They also have a huge stash of weapons, medicine, and supplies that Lee and his group desperately need. When Lee and his group enter the school, they are confronted by a woman named Molly, who is actually a former Crawford member who escaped after they tried to kill her sister. Molly tells Lee that Crawford is dangerous and that they should avoid them at all costs. However, Lee and his group decide to sneak into the school anyway, hoping to find a way to the boat. Unfortunately, they are discovered by Crawford's leader, a man named Vernon, who demands that they surrender their weapons or he will kill them. Lee has two options. He can either give up his weapons and hope that Vernon will spare them, or he can refuse and try to fight his way out. So which option is the worst one? Well, in my opinion, the worst choice is to give up your weapons. See, giving up your weapons does not guarantee that Vernon will let you go. In fact, he will most likely betray you and kill you anyway. Vernon is a cold-blooded leader who only cares about his own survival and the survival of his group. He has no qualms about killing anyone who poses a threat to him or his resources. He has already killed countless people who did not fit his criteria of being strong and useful. He will not hesitate to kill you and your group, especially after you have trespassed into his territory and tried to steal his supplies. Giving up your weapons will have negative consequences for the rest of the game. You will lose your weapons permanently, which means you will have less options and less chances to defend yourself and your group in future situations. You will also lose the respect and trust of your group members, who will see you as a coward and a traitor. You will also lose the respect and trust of Clementine, the young girl you are trying to protect and raise. Clementine will be disappointed and scared by your decision, and she will lose faith in you as a leader and a father figure. That's why, in my opinion, giving up your weapons is the worst possible choice you can make in The Walking Dead Season 1, now. Whether to kill or spare the stranger in Season 1, Episode 5, when Lee finally confronts the stranger in a hotel room, he has a chance to either strangle him to death or let him live. Clementine's fate depends on this choice, as well as Lee's own morality. So, which option is the worst one? Well, in my opinion, the worst choice is to not kill the stranger. Not killing the stranger is a huge risk for Clementine's safety. If Lee fails to strangle him, the stranger will fight back and try to choke Lee instead. Clementine will have to intervene and shoot the stranger in the head, saving Lee. This is a traumatic experience for a little girl who has to kill a human being for the first time. It also shows that Lee is not capable of protecting her from harm, and that she has to rely on herself. And once again, not killing the stranger is a sign of weakness and mercy that Lee cannot afford in this world. The stranger is a dangerous and delusional man who has been stalking Lee and his group for months. He has a severed head of his wife in a bag, for crying out loud. He is not someone who deserves to live, nor someone who can be reasoned with. By sparing him, Lee is giving him a chance to escape, to come back, or to hurt someone else. Lee is also showing that he is not willing to do whatever it takes to survive and to protect Clementine. Now arguably the most emotion-charged choice, whether to ask Clementine to shoot Lee or not. As you know, at the end of episode 5, Lee gets bitten by a walker and has to say goodbye to Clementine, his surrogate daughter and the only reason he kept going. He has two options. Either ask her to shoot him in the head to prevent him from turning, or tell her to leave him and save herself. This is a heartbreaking decision that affects both Lee and
I would say, I would say definitely leave. I would say not going to shoot him. How Clementine tried to shoot her lead, the definitely worst ones. I would say Clementine tried to leave his lead. Though it got affected. Though it released and got zombie got bite. It sucks, man. We know, man.
Clementine's fate. But which one is the worst? Well, in my opinion, the worst choice is to ask Clementine to shoot Lee. Why? Because it's a selfish and cruel thing to do to a little girl who has already suffered so much. Think about it. Clementine has lost her parents, her friends, her home, and now she has to kill the only person who cared for her and protected her. How do you think that will affect her mentally and emotionally? How do you think that will shape her future? Sure, you might think that you're doing her a favor by not letting her see you turn into a walker, but you're actually forcing her to do something that will haunt her for the rest of her life. You're making her pull the trigger on the person she loves the most.
That's it. Finally, the end of the video. Thank God. Yeah, that's it. He end the video. So yeah, we know this one. They had best one to worst choice. They had this. We know. And others we never see what she going to post about and Walking Dead season 3 or and Walking Dead final seasons. We'll possibly talk about best choice to worst choice. But nope, he did not post not season 3 or finale season because he talked about Season one and season two, best choice to worst choice, and that's it. I don't know why did not continue, and yeah, obviously not enough popular views. Maybe he was ended that one, unknown why reason. And also know we have to watch this one, Red Dead Redemption 2, best choice to worst choice. Of course, we have to do it again, so we have to end video. So I will say goodbye, Saulius, and see you tomorrow. So yeah, that's it. He end the video. So I will say goodbye and have a good night. Peace out. Bye.